Alright, today's video, we obviously have a TWID because it's Thursday. We're not going to go over the whole TWID. We're just going to go over a couple parts. Because they're important in my opinion. So, on the Edge, as of today, we're just about 7 weeks away from the release of Destiny 2, The Edge of Fate. We mentioned in our intro that we've had some very special guests at our headquarters in recent weeks. These Guardians had 2 days of hands-on time with The Edge of Fate and one-on-one conversations with our development team. If you're looking to enter Destiny 2 The Edge of Fate without spoilers, now's the time to start going dark. While we've asked our friends to keep story spoilers to a minimal, footage will include the first mission from The Edge of Fate and additional gameplay capture from the Kepler destination. Are you itching to know more about gear tiers, Armor 3.0, the portal, hands-on previews, and interviews? Will begin rolling out on June 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Here's a quick list of who to watch for. We got Astros, Benny, Dado, Fallout Plays, Cactus, Mactix, sorry if I'm butchering his name. I have no clue how to say that. I'm dumb. Merge1? I don't know. Maury. Wow, these names are getting worse and worse for me to pronounce. They're not bad names. I just don't know how to pronounce them because I'm dumb. Mr. Raffle Waffles, Nexus? Like, is that fancy or is it just Nexus straight up? Because there's an extra X that makes me feel like it's supposed to be fancy. PC Gamer, Shack News, Scaro9, Walla, and Zavaler. We have no doubt some questions will pop up soon after this wave of content is live, and we're excited to say this is just the start of the conversation. Each TWID from now through launch will be looking to address questions, expanded context, or tense out further changes coming to Destiny 2. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I was reading that right. I was like, what? Not only that, but we have a few more info drops panels before launch. Mark your calendars for some upcoming live streams. June 24th, 10 a.m. PDT. July 1st, 10 a.m. PDT. We mentioned during our initial reveal event that there's quite a lot of change coming to Destiny 2. System overhauls, new loot, new challenges, and more. We're excited to share what we've been working on since the final shape. A new saga is about to begin, and we can't wait. Alright, so we're going to talk about this because this is probably like the most important thing, and it's going to make me the most sad. So, out of the full list of people that are here, only a couple of them are really going to be brutally honest to Bungie. The rest are kind of suck-ups, and I know that sounds a bit mean, but hear me out. Anytime there's something slightly new, literally 90% of this list jumps on the loot. Or not the loot, but on the new system. The rest of it could be absolute shit, but they always overhype it when there's something new coming. One single new thing. And then when it comes out, they then bitch about it because they realize that was the only good thing. Now, they're not always like that, but a lot of them are like that on this list. So I have to point that out. Personally, I don't think most of these people should have been the ones invited. Not because I hate them, but simply because they're going to focus on the wrong part. It's not their fault. It's not anyone's fault. Everyone has their own opinions, their own likes and dislikes, obviously. And people are going to focus on something new or creative that they like. Personally, there are several people out there that do focus on what they like, but then they also focus on the overall, like I do. I love new abilities and stuff, but I also focus on the overall part of it, where yes, these new destination abilities are cool, but they're not actually destination abilities, they're destination relics. So I go over the whole spam of things, and my opinion, which I'm very vocal about my opinion, and it's fine to be vocal about your opinion. I don't have a problem with any of these guys. If they like the new stuff that's showing off, awesome, it's nothing wrong with that. I just feel they're going to be too busy focused on that and not focused on what should be. And that personally makes me worried. Because in reality, something needs to be added. We're still 7 weeks away. They can still add something. Even if it's something small, they can add something for ability system. Either a couple new grenades, a new super even. Just add one new super for the darkness subclasses. Because they only have one super. They deserve two each, and they only have one. Stuff like that. Now, maybe Bungie will throw us a curveball and actually plan to add that. Maybe they showed that off in here. But personally, I doubt that. We would have seen anything like that in the trailer, and we didn't. So, and they didn't talk about it in the reveal. So, yeah, they might bring it out last minute, maybe a new aspect or something. But sadly, that disappoints me. And personally, if me or a select number of people that I know, that I've watched and actually talk about everything, would have actually been invited, which none of them are on this list, I'm not going to point out who. I'm not going to try to call out anyone or hear anything again. There's no hate to them. They have the right to like what they want. And obviously a lot of people are going to focus on the new stuff and focus purely on it because that's what matters. But personally, I'm a bigger picture kind of person that yes, what they're adding is cool, but if they're not thinking bigger picture either, then that's how a game fails, hence why we've literally seen the decline of the century for Destiny 2. Even though it is technically a good game for new players, they don't know what to do. That's why they stop playing. It's because there's not really a good destination of explanatory of explaining what the fuck you're supposed to do. It's why a lot of new players stop playing unless they have friends that help them out. But a lot of the friends do help them out, just blow through all the content for them, and they get bored because what's the point then, right? They need to figure things out themselves. That's why when I do raid helps and stuff and dungeon helps, I always let them figure it out. Or at least try to for a while, and then if I can see they're getting annoyed, then I'll start to help work through it. I don't just give them the answer. So yeah, that's the issue there. But yeah, so sadly, the big picture isn't ever thought at Bungie. They always think on profit and then not profit in the long term, which we know that because if they actually thought long term, they would do a lot of good changes to this game. And they haven't for years, and they're finally doing small changes that mean nothing in the long term because there's literally only things that are pointless other than for the very specific thing they're being put for. Everything past that is pointless. So I'm afraid most of these people are going to focus on those new things that are small and actually do not matter in the long run, other than in the situation of like the new campaign or very select places, and that's it. I'm afraid a lot of these people aren't going to see the big picture. Again, not all of them here are like that. A lot of them, like I said, they're about 90% of them or like that. The other 10% is people that do usually see the big picture, but at the same time, even someone that sees the big picture like me, I've been juked before. When Strand was coming out, that juked me from a lot of the questions I usually have, and then that ended up being the worst DLC. Not the worst, but one of the worst. So I'll admit, even I fell for it, so we're not all perfect, but this makes me worried for the game. Because if no one here asks the big questions of the future, what matter for the future, then we're going to see the exact same thing we see every year that Bungie does. And that's shit, 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 shit. One good thing, shit, 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 shit. Like, that's literally how it always works. We get one good thing a year, like the Nether list last year, or this season, but for this last year's reset. The Nether was crazy, was good. The activity after that, the Court of Oryx, insanely good. All that was really good. Good loot, good activity, great mechanic systems. It made them unique, it made them fun. We got the Ride of the Nine thing, which isn't that great. It's just basically the same thing, just slightly harder. It is fun, but the weapons are fun to get, and there's some cool weapons. Yes, they're not all crazy broken rolls like they should have been, but they are some good ones. But overall, that's what Bungie does, is they give us a whole year of shit, and it's literally the final season they do the best work. And they usually do either great activity and shit loot, or great activity, okay loot, or great loot but shit activity. That's literally they do that throughout the whole year always. It's almost always the final season where they actually do a great activity but either shit loot or okay loot. So we really don't like that system. And sadly, if people aren't going to ask the good questions, the right questions, then that situation will never change. It doesn't matter what they do to the campaign. It doesn't matter if they make it where it's no longer straight one end to the other end. If it's all over the place, you can pick what you want to do for it. It doesn't matter because that's only for the campaign. What is the point past that? Yes, it's a cool change, but it's pointless in the overall picture of the system. So, personally, I'm afraid no one here is going to ask, at least most of them won't, ask the correct questions. And if enough people don't ask the correct questions, then nothing's ever done. And the biggest thing is, the ability system is what drives this game. We've got no new abilities, no new aspects, nothing releasing at the moment, and that's just stupid. The weapon system, yeah, they do keep changing for the most part. We got some cool exotics coming out, it looks like, some cool new perks we saw from the trailer stuff. So, there's stuff coming, but weapons aren't the only thing. Personally, I love weapons, and they help drive the game for me, personally. I love a good campaign, and I love the weapon system, but that's not what everyone wants. Everyone wants activities to farm. They want activity that's fun. And I do too, for the most part, would like an activity to farm that's fun. I will farm almost anything for the loot if I want a gun, don't get me wrong. But I would still prefer it to be fun, or at least have a point to it. So, I don't know what's going to happen, obviously. We'll find out the first information on the June 3rd, which is really dumb because that's several days away. I don't know why we're waiting so long for that, Bungie. Why not just do it now while the twit happened? But whatever. Bungie for you, what do you expect? I hope some of these people are more of these people than I know. Like, I doubt, like I said, about 90% of them wouldn't have asked the correct questions. I'm hoping I'm wrong, and maybe because the game is dead enough, people are starting to look more towards the future instead of short term. But unfortunately, I don't know. Like I said, there are a few here that I'm happier went, but again, if they get juked by something simple, or Bungie throws some really flashy out, it can distract anyone. Strand was one of that, distracted all of us. A majority of us, at least. There's a few that still were skeptical, and they had the right to be, and we all should have been. We all should have been, truthfully. So, unfortunately, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I really hope Bungie succeeds on this. This is a new saga, which is a new game, but I'm still very worried about it. Big questions need to be asked for the future of the game, and need to be taught to them. Like, they've got to stop being so conservative. This is a gaming industry. This evolves over time. It's always evolved. And Bungie's too afraid to evolve, and that's not okay. And yes, they're doing changes which are good, but these changes are very limited to very limited places. And every other RPG style game or a game similar to Destiny had years and years ago, where they've now evolved that to a new stage, and we're getting to stage 1 of that. So technically speaking, we're very late to the system, like always, because that's Bungie for you. So, yeah. Again, no hate to any of these guys. I'm not trying to... That's why we're not saying which ones are which. We're not trying to hate anyone here. We're just saying I've seen how it is and how people play and react to stuff. So we will see. We will see. Again, hopefully I'm wrong. A lot of people on this list, or all of them maybe, ask the big questions for the future, but we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. Hopefully they throw a curveball and actually drop something. I mean, at this point, aspects are like should be common at this point. Like, they should be adding, if they're going to either add exotic armors or exotic aspects. And I don't mean like exotic aspects, I mean like aspects that are good. So they should be adding those at this point. One season new exotic armor, one season aspects. I think that'd be a really good system. But since it is the start of a new saga, we really should have gotten more than we did. Yes, they're doing a whole bunch of changes, but these changes do not matter in the long run. Other than the armor and weapon changes, those are the only things that matter. But again, that doesn't define a new saga. That is just an extra piece of the pie they put on for a little spice. That's what you have to view that as, because that's exactly what it is. Again, I hope these people asked the right question. I really hope they did. We won't know until, obviously, we get information and stuff. We probably will never know the full story, obviously, because they're not going to show off the whole conversation they've had, but we'll see. Personally, there was a list of people I would have preferred to see on here, and unfortunately not a single one of them was on here, so that is unfortunate. There's a couple of them on here. Like I said, there's a few that I'm glad we're on it, because they do usually ask the big questions, so that's good. But yeah, so I just want to make my 5 cents about it, you know. You can agree with me, you can disagree, it's fine either way. It's not that big of a deal. It's just saying I want people to look at the bigger picture. We got Prophecy starting on Tuesday, which is June 3rd. I'm excited for this. I'm going to be farming the literal crap out of this from June 3rd until June 17th. Prophecy will be available. Week of June 10th, increased rewards and weapons from enemies. I'm very excited for this. The hand cannon from this has been buffed and gotten an adept version. I'm very excited to get. I love this hand cannon. It's very hard to get a god roll for, as in I've never gotten one. I've been very close, but never perfect. So hopefully I can finally get that god roll perfection one. Adept. I'm very excited to try to farm this. I figured the Rainbow Road is definitely going to be some sort of a timer or something going on here, without a doubt. They're going to make you earn this, for sure. But knowing how many cheeses there are in the game, we'll be able to cheese across it, probably, without a doubt, so it's okay. We're not worried that much. Celebrate Pride Month Fest. There's a whole bunch of shaders coming in a pack on June 3rd, so through July 1st. Indivisible, ugh, English, I suck at it. Boundless, 10th Muse, and True Self. Okay, not sure what any of that means, but yeah. This shader looks like it might be cool. There's a lot of extra going on with that. Like, see all these shaders look like normal shaders, just extra bits. There's one with like a ton of extra going on this side with the splices. So I'm very excited to see what that one is. Supposed to glow. That's different. So I don't know. I want to see what that one turns out to be. You do get an emblem. So, you know, if you want a free emblem, grab it. Looks cool. It's a pin and emblem. Get a new shader that actually looks kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. It is for free. So you just got to put in this code right here, D6T3JRCKX. You put it at bungie.net/rewards. That's the website you go to, and you can put that in. Make sure you're signed in on your account, wherever you sign in, from Steam, PlayStation, whatever, Xbox, Epic, you know, Windows, whatever it is. Sign in. You'll be fine. This is a pretty cool picture, I will say, from the twit. I do like this picture. After teasing Titans for the 200th time, this twit is over. Damn, poor Titans. Don't take it too seriously. Pauldron fashionistas. I don't know, English hard. We love all our guardians equally, even hunters. Damn, that's just a roast. If you are the kind of player that always focused on just one character, that's totally fine. But you have 2 more slots in there in case you want to try something different. This way you can understand them better and properly joke about warlocks jumping downwards. Modern class identity is our love language. That's funny. That's to your community team. Kinda wish the new Saga we would've got a new character. So, and by that I mean like a Hunter, Titan, Warlock, brand new one.